Okay, today we are going to talk about how to tackle and finish your paper with your annotated bibliography. An annotated bibliography is simply where you have your regular citations of where you got your information, whether it's a website, an article, a picture, a map. It could be a whole slew of things. So here we have our citation. This is a sample one. Um, and you would have like the article written. This is kind of like what you would use if you were using a Britannica library where you could research. And here there's also always help with finding MLA citation help. The nice part about Britannica Library for Young Adults is that when you go and search something, and my country is Egypt. Okay, so I press enter and we have all of our selections of things that, different articles and pictures that you can use for your research. So I'm going to use this article. It's very well detailed. It includes a lot of information in regards to important people, major history, the government, major cities, and so on. So I'm going to pretend that I'm doing Egypt and my city is Cairo. So pretend I've used this and it is now in my article, or sorry, in my paper. When I go in here and I look, all right, it doesn't have anything really there. The practice that we're going to do today is going to be our annotated bibliography. So I'm going to come back over to my article, and this part you should have practiced before for other research that you've done, but if not, the citation button that helps you to cite this website that you have researched in the Encyclopedia Britannica is right here, okay? So I am going to select this text, copy, and come back over to my report. And it's always put on the last page, the annotated bibliography or regular works cited. All right, so for this, I am just going to paste, okay? And there's a way to go through to remove all of the different, here we go, different formats. So as we know, this should be in Times New Roman, size 12, and I'm going to remove the highlight for all of it. Okay, so you can see I have the title of the article, all right, or if it was a picture, the title of the picture. Okay, we have the main website. Okay, it's from the Britannica Library under the publisher Encyclopedia Britannica. And then it tells me the date when the article was written. Okay, here is a link to the direct website page that includes the article, and then it does include when I accessed it, when I found the information, which was November 4th, 2021. I'm going to then press enter for my next piece of information I used in my paper, and let's look at a map. Okay, so I'm going to do a search in Google for a map, but I want to make sure that this map that I use is accurate, it came from a reputable source. So I kind of look and I see that I really like this image. I see that it's from worldatlas.com. Now I need to double check, and I do see that it's directly linked to World Atlas. And when I click on there, okay, all right, here is the direct website for that picture, but when you go to the World Atlas, you can see that there are maps of Egypt. I went from home to Africa to Egypt. And I first want to just double check using the information from the World Atlas fact-checking policy. I can determine that this is a reputable source and I can use this picture. So coming back here, all right, the picture is on this web page. Remember, you can copy and then paste it over into your actual presentation. But I see here I have my website name, just like you would use for your website name right here. And you would use your source as World Atlas. And I'm going to try my best to find when this page was written, okay? So it might have it listed at the bottom, sometimes at the top, that it was last updated. February 24th, 2021. So this is going to be very helpful. Now let's get started to building this bibliography. Okay, so first coming here with a photograph or an image, it's going to be a little different. So I'm going to come back to my Egypt maps, okay, and this website, the title of this page is called Maps of Egypt. So I'm going to come back to my report, Maps of Egypt, and this is going to be italicized. All right, I'm going to come here. I'm going to put a comma. All right, and then next we have the name of the website, World Atlas. Next we have the day that the this page was last updated with our picture. So it was updated last, let me come back to it, on the 24th, I believe, of February. Oh, right there. Yep, February 24th. And with putting everything in the correct order, we do the day of the month, an abbreviation if you would like, or you can do the full, and the year. So for this, we would put 24 Feb period 2021 was the last date it was updated, period. We then put the direct link that we found our picture. So coming up here, yep, there's my picture. So I'm going to copy and bring it over into my report. Okay. Next, we are going to put in the picture, the day that we access this picture, which would be 4, because we're on November 4th, 2021, period. Okay. So it doesn't have to be too difficult. So mainly we have the title of the web page, the source, the day that it was last updated, if you can find it, the website that directly goes to your resource that you're using, and then the date you accessed. Oh, I'm realizing I need to put accessed to differentiate or show the difference between the day it was written versus the day that you accessed it. Okay, so for the sake of this, I had used the sample website. There we go. Oops, I lost my hanging indent. Come here. There we go. Okay, so now we need to do our annotated bibliography. So I'm going to quickly begin to write my short little bibliography of basically why I am using little comments here about why I am using this picture or I am using this article and just giving a brief description. So for this one, I might say this article shares numerous, and I misspelled it, that's okay, numerous pieces of information about the culture, climate, history, and government of Egypt. All right. And then I might say something else like, I focused on the capital of Egypt and the history from this trusted source. And then maybe one more sentence. The article includes many resources I might say something, so resources like images and maps of the country. Okay, now, sorry, I was just thinking of that as we're going. So for here, now the part that is annotated, this is going to be an extra indentation from your normal works cited, okay, your citation. So here, I'm going to go to the beginning of my annotation. All right, my little, it's kind of like a little summary, okay? I'm going to remove the indent, okay? And that's how you do it, is you remove and put everything all on, if there's 6.5 inches of text here, you put them so that the rectangle and the reverse, kind of upside down triangle are right here on where it would be 0. I'm now going to begin to indent. So that brings it to where our citation is, but I need to go one more time to do a full inch indent, and there we go. All right. And for here, I would do the same thing. Okay, this image shows the country of Egypt with many capitals. Cities. Okay. And these don't need to be too long. Okay. Shows the country region with many cities. Yes. So if I go back to my picture, let me just take a quick peek. And I might say geographical features, right? So we have the sea here. We can see a little bit of the topography, or how high the land is. And you can see where the land goes up and down. And it shows a little bit about desert, low areas, hills, and mountains. Okay, so I'm going to put that in. Okay. It also includes many geographical features of the water and land, period. All right, now I'm going to do that same, bring this over. Oops, there we go. And I need to change, maybe I'll do this time. 1, 2, that's kind of easy. Oh, here, actually, that's right there. So here, now I'm going to shift this over. So if you notice, the annotation just goes straight from here. So as long as this is slowly moving over, I need to move it over one more time. So you'll notice we have beginning of a citation, indent, the hanging indent, and then the annotation is indented. There we go. Okay, so that is the beginning of my citations. The last thing I do is I go through to make sure it's Times New Roman, size 12. All right, if one thing was bigger, like the title, it would have nothing there. You just go in and change it to 12. And I'm going to format my text color all to black. And there we go. Okay, just a few quick notes. So I will share this presentation with your teachers to share with you. So naturally, this is just a quick review of everything that your teachers told you needed to include in your presentation. And then also, since you're using these resources, you need to include in your annotated bibliography. Okay, a few things about your bibliography page. Okay, the citations need to be in alphabetical order by the first letter of the web page or the title or the picture, whatever it might be. Okay, so, all right, the top header, okay, remember that it will include your last name, and then probably it might have your information here, and then your whatever class it is, and then you'll do your annotated bibliography if you're not doing a full report. But if you do have the full report above, okay, it'll have a different number after each page. This one's 3 pages, okay, and they're in alphabetical order. Perfect. The margins are 1 inch from wherever the text begins, so you can begin to see here that we have that. And if you need to change it, you go to page setup and make sure your margins are all 1. Next, font size, as I said before, 12 points, okay? And then remember that we tab for a new paragraph where we put our citation our annotated bibliography in. So after you finish your citation, you're tabbing over your entire little, couple sentences about your resource. Okay. And then lastly, everything is going to be double spaced. Okay. Next, all right, we have here also all those rules that we kind of inserted and I talked about while making my annotated bibliography. Okay, and then we even reviewed that annotations just give a little bit of what the resource is. So you're explaining what the resource is and what you think of it or why you put it in, how it helps to support your project. Okay, and if you're ever curious about the rules for creating, say, a citation for a website or book, keep going. We've got photos and where we go. Here we go. There we go. Photos, or it might be, just picture content. All right, you can actually search here to find your information, online video, whatever it might be. So I have included that as well. If you feel stuck as you're going through as to what order you should go in, because some websites are going to need more information. If you look here back at the report, the Encyclopedia Britannica online resource is longer than the location of where I found my picture. Okay, so for that, I have it's much shorter. So it just depends on the specifications or what you need for each resource that you can kind of double check and look in the MLA citation generator. You would just choose here. It's absolutely free. All right, and that's it. I wish you all much luck. You can do this.